A new plan to split California in two has come from Assemblyman James Gallagher. He is not the first to come up with the idea. Over the decades, many plans have been assimilated and maps drawn to try and alleviate some of the drastic differences and people left out when you have a state this big. Seems like everyone is drawing new maps these days. Let's explore a couple of the previous plans to split up California, and then we will look at the new plan on the table. Maybe the most famous would be proposed the state of Jefferson. It was a proposed U.S. state that would span the contiguous, mostly rural area of southern Oregon and northern California, where several attempts to separate from Oregon and California, respectively, have taken place. The region encompasses most of Northern California's land, but does not include San Francisco or other Bay Area counties that account for the majority of Northern California's population. The state of Jefferson has its origins in the 19th century. In 1851, 174 years ago, gold discovered in the Klamath River Basin of northwest California extended California's gold rush further north to the basin and into the Rogue River Valley of southern Oregon. This led to the first large influx of white settlers in the area, causing conflict with local native populations that eventually culminated in the Rogue River War of 1855. The Jefferson secession movement would be revived as a serious movement in 2013 by Mark Baird, rancher and former sheriff's deputy in Siskiyou County, who was concerned with the region's lack of representation in the state government. He often cited a forestry policy that prevented most of Northern California's federally managed forests from being logged, which had more or less wiped out the region's economic base. Baird argued that Jefferson's statehood would give the region footing to negotiate with the federal government to revise this policy. As of the 2020 census, if the Jefferson counties were a state, original 1941 counties, the state's population would be 484,727, smaller than any state at the time. Approximately 83% of those residents live in Oregon. Its land area would be 21,349.76 square miles, a little smaller than West Virginia. The area was almost evenly divided between Oregon and California. Yes, there is a flag. The field of the flag is green, and the charge is the seal of the state of Jefferson, a yellow circle representing a gold mining pan, with the words "The Great Seal of State of Jefferson" engraved into the lip, and two capital black X's. The two X's are known as the double cross and signify the two regions' sense of abandonment by the central state governments in both southern Oregon and northern California. There was the Six Californias plan. Six Californias was a proposed initiative to split the U.S. state of California into 6 states. It failed to qualify as a California ballot measure for the 2016 state elections due to receiving insufficient signatures. This one, to me, looks more like the East Coast states. It is kind of ridiculous to have so much diversity that is governed and represented by only one state legislature, and I can see why there's so many plans to split up the state, but which one will prevail? There have been more attempts to divide California than anniversaries of its statehood in 1850. At least 220 attempts to break up California. What do you think about this? That's a lot of attempts, while none have succeeded. And now, just this week, yet another attempt to split the great Golden State comes from Yuba City Assemblyman James Gallagher. He says he will be presenting a resolution to split the state into 2 distinct parts. He is about to introduce Assembly Joint Resolution 23, which calls for the creation of a new U.S. state comprised of 35 inland California counties, including most of Northern California, the Sierra Nevada, Central Valley, and Inland Empire. For me, personally, this one makes the most sense if we are going to do it. Let the coastal Democrats deal with all the tourism and ecological business, while the Republicans deal with the farming, logging, and more rural concerns. And when I say Democrat and Republicans, from what this map shows us from the past elections, there is a dramatic difference in mindsets. There is a dramatic difference in wealth in these 2 areas. There are different needs to be met. No California county should be overlooked or uncared for. Again, what are your thoughts? Do we need 6, maybe 10 Californias? Maybe just 2, or 1 giant one? Be sure to comment and share this video so I can get more comments to help me understand what my fellow Californians are thinking out there. And as always, happy trails!